Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on Saturday, the 12th of July, 2025. Today is, the definition of summer. Warm sunshine, blue skies from west to east, hot weather, possibly 30 Celsius, light winds, happy days. Currently, there is just a touch of low clouds in parts of West Cork, East Kerry region there, but that should rapidly burn off. Also, we do have some high clouds just flirting with the far west of Ireland. However, that should stay at bay until at least tonight and tomorrow. However, for the UK, while many areas are indeed, like Ireland, dry, sunny, hot, warm, light winds, we do have this low clouds, mist and fog that's running in along the east of the country there. So if you live on the British East Coast, it will feel today quite drab, quite cool, quite cloudy. The heatwave is definitely centred over Ireland and more central and northern and western Britain. Now, this cold front will be pushing eastwards gradually but surely through today and tomorrow, and it will be moving through the country tomorrow night. There is uncertainty about how much rain and storms we'll see from it, but I'll go through all of that with you later on. And then next week, we'll have this area of low pressure moving in from the west, so we return to a more westerly regime at least early in the week. But as always, uncertainty blooms around the day 5 period, and we could go any direction. If you watched last night's video, you will know what I mean. So here is today's UV index forecast from Erin. So this chart shows the UV index in terms of clear sky UV, and this is for cloudy skies, the maximum UV exposure today. So you can see today, sunny skies, so this chart is relevant here. Anywhere south of the line from like Mayo through to Fermanagh, then down towards County Down, UV of 7 at the peak today. North of that, about a 6. So high UV in place today. So sun cream on, apply it every 40 to 60 minutes to have the sunscreen work to its maximum effectiveness. There we go. I learned the hard way on Thursday. Didn't put it on enough. I put a lot on, but just didn't put it on every hour, and then I got burned. That's the story. So yeah, UV 7 or 6, high UV, apply every 40 minutes to an hour. Here is the UKV high risk forecast for cloud and precipitation. You can see that through the morning we got blue skies around, maybe just a few wisps of high cloud here and there, a bit of low cloud around, but that will be really the exception to the rule on what is a really warm, fine, hot summer's day. And by afternoon, some high cloud may just flirt with the far western fringes of Ireland. However, that will do nothing except turn the sunshine hazy. A few rogue storms may just blossom on the northwest coast, but even if they do so, they're likely to push offshore quite quickly. Into tonight, most areas remain under balmy clear skies, so get the barbecues out. Tonight. Last night, you'll know that I think my neighbours had some sort of barbecue, because halfway through the video they were being very noisy, so I had to close the window. This morning I've been closed anyway, just in case. Right, so, but I'm suffering. Into Sunday morning, we see most areas away from the southwest have clear skies. To start Sunday, and warm sunshine. However, that high cloud will be pushing gradually but surely eastwards and northwards on Sunday, followed promptly by some showers and storms. that'll just edge into the far southwest by Sunday morning. Now, we also have to watch the areas in Western Leinster, North Leinster, South Ulster and Connacht there as well on Sunday, because we're likely to see some potent storms forming in the afternoon. This is convection, so homegrown heat, sun shines on the ground, we got instability, humidity, area of low pressures in, and we generate storms. So there we go. By tomorrow at 4 p.m, we have some scattered but potent downpours in parts of West Leinster and Connacht there, and these will push westwards and northwards through the west of the country there into Sunday evening. So really, West Leinster, possibly North Leinster and South Ulster, but especially Connacht, because these are big downpours tomorrow evening, possibly a small MCS. So that has to be kept an eye on. We'll probably see a warning for that issued possibly today or tomorrow. And then behind that, we see this next area of showery rain and storms pushing in. However, last night we saw this model have this band stretching all the way through the country. Excuse me. Last night's model run had this band stretching down the country. Today, it's only really in the west that sees this band of storms, and Midlands, South and East miss it pretty much. And a few storms do blossom overnight in the north of the country. So really, with the breakdown of the UKV this morning, the breakdown is confined to the west and north. So again, uncertainty about how widespread they'll be, but UKV today has toned it down. Into tomorrow, Monday morning, we see the last of the storms pushing away from the northwest, but we do quickly see some heavy showers pushing in to more southern regions again, and the west as well. Now these are just more showers coming in from the west, so not really thunderstorms, just heavy showers. They can be thundery, yes, but change in air mass, a lot cooler on Monday, and a lot more blustery. By Tuesday, we see this big area of showery rain moving in. Again, uncertainty as to how heavy it will be, how widespread it will be, and the timing as well. Some are also having a big front moving in. This one seems to have it more toned down in some way, especially for the south. In the north though, it is going to be quite a wild day on Tuesday. In the south, a bit drier, brighter. Through Wednesday though, early hours in the morning, some rain is moving to the south, and by Wednesday afternoon, it clears away. Thursday morning starts off quite fine, it seems. So quite a messy pattern next week, very uncertain. So here is the temperature forecast from that UKV run. So today, quickly warming up in that strong July sunshine. It's high summer, so temperatures will be soaring to about 25 to 30 Celsius. 30 Celsius most likely, possibly in East Clare, North Tipperary, North Kilkenny, Carlow, Dublin, Kildare, Laois, Offaly, Westmeath and Western Meath, Cavan Monaghan, Roscommon, East Galway, East Mayo, Sligo, Leitrim, did I say that already? And also parts of Northern Ireland and Donegal. Testing my knowledge there of counties. Into the evening tonight, temperatures will fall away slowly. So by 10 p.m, 11 p.m, many areas are still above 20 Celsius, so it will be difficult tonight to fall asleep. And by Sunday at about 5 a.m, 6 a.m. time, lowest temperatures of only 15 to 19 degrees. Locally, parts of the far west and northwest might see a tropical night. That would mean that the lowest temperature is either at 20 Celsius or above, by definition. So, Sunday, with a bit more clouds around, especially in the southwest, temperatures will be a bit more caps than they'll be today. So by tomorrow afternoon, say Munster's only really at, say, 20 to 25 degrees Celsius there. In far west Kerry, it'd be quite a cool day compared to today, really. and elsewhere you're 25 to 28 degrees really. Still a very warm day, but it's not quite as hot as it'll be today. And into the evening, we'll see temperatures lowering, but again very slowly. It'll be very muggy tomorrow night with the storms pushing in, and the humidity as well. We will be checking those out later on. Into Monday morning, you can see the marked temperature difference there on the boundary between the storms, on the boundary between the warm air and the cool air marked by the storms. That's more like it, yes. So Monday itself will be a cooler day with highest temperatures of in Connacht very dismal. I'm assuming that's because this model is forecasting at that time frame. Yeah, a lot of showers and strong gusty westerly winds. So that will be that's the reason why it's so cool there on this run. But sunshine at this time of year makes all the difference. So if you're in like Munster, Leinster, and Ulster, highs in the high teens, possibly reaching 20 or 21 Celsius. Even in the UK, despite the change in wind direction, 30 Celsius still likely in like Cambridgeshire, North Kent, maybe home counties, and into Norfolk there. So, into Tuesday morning, quite a fresh morning, thank God, and Tuesday afternoon then. If you're in the north, it will be actually horrible as that rain's going through there. You can see that through the day, these warm zones sort of change and shift around. That's because we've got these masses of cloud moving through and rain. Where they are falling, temperatures peak back to mid-teens. But if you've got sunshine, high teens, possibly 20 Celsius. So, Tuesday evening, warm in the south, cool in the north, because in the south there'll be rain. And into Wednesday itself, again, I'm assuming that is because of cloud and rain. Don't be taking that literally, because that's Wednesday and it's still Saturday. And into Thursday morning, at the minute, looks quite fresh. Here is also just to mention as well that there is a yellow warning for heat. High temperature warning for the whole country. It's starting off today at 12 p.m. I think it ends tomorrow at 6 a.m. No, 12 p.m. even. And then there is a separate warning for high temperature for parts of the Midlands and north of the country and west as well. That is from tomorrow at 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. That one's just for for tomorrow's high temperatures, but the one for the whole country today is for very high temperatures today in the sunshine, but also very high minima tonight. Most areas above 15 Celsius, so very warm, sticky, muggy, uncomfortable for sleeping. And in the daytime, everyone's at the beach, so could be some water-related incidents there. Now I'm going to the beach today, so maybe I should be vigilant. Anyway, looking at this is a chart for humidity. So today you'll notice that the humidity isn't that bad, but tonight obviously it will rise due to cooling of the air somewhat. So it becomes closer to being saturated. So yeah, tonight will be quite sticky, especially for more southern areas. Now tomorrow, oh god, what happened there? Now so as I was saying, southern areas tonight more sticky. Into tomorrow, Sunday though, if you compare tomorrow at 4 p.m. to today at 4 p.m, I think that's there. Yeah, so you can see jumping humidity levels. That's because we've got the clouds and we got the Atlantic starting to push through. A few storms are being generated. You can see there that higher area. That area in Connacht there, West Leinster, having high humidities. So the storms will be blossoming away there. So tomorrow will feel stickier than today. Tomorrow night we'll see, again, high humidity. Higher than tonight in many areas. With the clouds, storms, tomorrow night might be really quite uncomfortable. I believe that Aaron should be putting this warning forward, extending it to Monday morning because of these conditions that won't be conducive at all to sleep. Storms, humidity, and temperatures by then will still be, in many areas, well above 15 degrees. Northern Ireland is still at 20 Celsius. So that heat warning should really be extended. So into Tuesday, we do see the westerlies break through. So highest humidities are in the west. That's Monday. Tuesday, we'll say more humid next week in general. Here is the GFS midnight run. So let's look at the more longer range now. So today, Saturday, is going to be a hot day with high pressure centered over towards Murmansk. Oh god. And easterly winds. Very slack though, so very warm and hot. Sunday, we'll start to see this trough deepening towards our west and south. That will be what generates the energy and instability for storms tomorrow in parts of the Midlands and West. And that will start to again push in this band of showers and storms from the southwest through tomorrow evening and night. Into Monday, we see this low deepening over the country, and that brings a westerly wind to gusty winds really, and heavy showers and longer spells of rain, heaviest and most prolonged in the west. Now, yesterday we mentioned that blocking will form towards Greenland and Iceland by next Tuesday. And that will be combined with the Azores high to the south to trap this area of low over us. Let's see what happens here. So, we seem to get a ridge through the country that connects the Azores high to the big blocks to the north. That will settle things down for a time next Wednesday, Thursday possibly. A bit warmer with southerly winds. We end up quite slack by Friday. That might bring some showers with it. Quite warm. Hot actually over the UK and France there. It's quite a messy pattern here, but it's keeping us on our toes. By next weekend, I think the low is deepening to the west again, and we're going more definitely into we're going more definitively into a westerly pattern there. And let's see, it's more straightforward by the final week of July, I think. Just westerly, deep low comes through by July 25th, and that brings wet and windy weather with it through that time period. Also, we get the Azores high by the end of the run. Actually, it's well away. It's kind of displaced. Normally, it's ridging into Western Europe now. Normally, it's ridging into Western Europe, but this time it's over the Azores, and actually, it's somewhat pushed westwards of the Azores, and we got low pressure traps to our north and east. Some sort of highish pressure towards Greenland, combined to bring down the northerly winds. So GFS midnight run shows it cool and unsettled by late July. Where we go from there will be seen shortly. Here is the ECM, but obviously that's a long way off, so let's just hold our horses. Don't panic yet. We still have today to go and tomorrow of the warmth. So here is the ECM. So very hot upper temperatures. The plus 15 ice storm is pushing in. So the higher centered towards Scandinavia now, bring in those slack southeasterly winds. Next Monday, we start to see this trough deepening to our west, and in comes a lot of showers and areas of rain. Also, just to come back to Monday, because they do have the precipitation forecast out for it as well. The ECM today kind of has quite a decent thundery breakdown. So if we zoom into the UK view and get rid of that first of all, we can see that 12 PM Sunday, quite dry in the country. A few showers might be forming in parts of the West Midlands. 3 PM, big storms forming. Connacht, possibly West Leinster, and again, chance of an MCS. Into 6 PM, next frame, again, big storms going through Connacht and West Leinster there, possibly South Ulster, and we got this band of showery rain and storms through into Sunday evening. Just to let you know, this is more that system forming over the western country, like conics, those are purely storms. The band of showers coming in through Munster tomorrow evening, those will be a mixture of heavy showers, rain, and possibly storms. Into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, what we see is all areas see this band of showers and storms pushing through. Quite intense in all areas. All areas on the ECM run the risk of seeing downpours on sunny nights. Contrastingly, as we know, the UK Met Run, it has it limited to the western north. So this is the uncertainty that we're seeing with regards to how widely they will occur. Either way, by Monday, we know what's happening. We end up in westerly winds and we're back to normal conditions. Go. Next Wednesday, once again, the blocking and the Azores high do link together with a ridge of the country. So GFS and ECM, both of them so far, build that ridge of the country. Next Thursday, Friday, we've got a trough to the west, southerly winds. Probably quite showery, maybe a few storms, but quite warm and humid. That'd be warm and humid. Quite a slight gradient there as well. So generally, late next week and next weekend looks quite wet with showers and storms, maybe humid, but warm and sunshine with southerly winds, slack southerly winds. By next Sunday and Monday, we got a weak ridge. We got a weak ridge towards Scandinavia and a weak trough to our southwest, combined to pull up quite a warm to very warm southerly southeasterly wind. Dare I say it, touching on heat again. But that, even if it does come off, will be short-lived and not as intense as this heat wave. And we end up, oh my god, I'm starting to fail at it, aren't I? Yeah, I am messing up big time. Either way, by the following week, we look westerly and more straightforward. Low to the north, high to the south, flat as a pancake. Here is the UK Met run. UK Met. Right, let's go. So, today is hot and dry. So is tomorrow in many areas, but the storms will be popping off in those areas I mentioned before. And that trough might bring up a band of storms over the country tomorrow night, and showers and rain. Details to be confirmed as to how widespread they are. Beyond that, into Monday and Tuesday, westerly winds prevail. No connection of the Azores high in the block. Just get deep lows. Keep in control. Here is the GEM. We know the story. So it's hot, classic summer weather. Moving forward into tomorrow Sunday, get this trough deepening to our south and west. And let's see what storms this produces. Let's go into precipitation and UK view. So as you can see, tomorrow at 6 p.m, we have those big storms blowing off in the Midlands and Northwest. We get this band of showers and storms pushing in to Munster. 9 p.m, the storms are pushing off into the Atlantic there from Northwest. But still, this band is moving in. And the GEM is more inclusive with the storm coverage there on Sunday night and early hours of Monday. In addition, Northern Ireland, big storms might push in from the UK. Big storms might push in from Britain. Oh my gosh. From the southeast. It's a messy situation, this. It's a messy, stormy situation. There are several systems. There are several little troughs where the storms, several little areas, disturbances, troughs, where storms will form. One, as we know, tomorrow afternoon, West Leinster, Connacht. Then the second one, tomorrow evening and night, coming up from southwest through the country. Then, possibly, there'll be some storms forming over parts of England and Wales, pushing northwestwards into Northern Ireland by tomorrow night. So a lot of little areas of storms that are going to be, blossoming and potentially merging into each other. But I like it. It's what keeps me going. Trying to analyse these, analyse the way these might occur. Into next week then. So GEM also links the Azores High and the blocking together to form quite a weak ridge, but it will help settle things down and dry things out and warm things up. We end up with a trough again on Thursday. That brings some showers and rain with that. Quite an odd pattern. It's very slack. But then we end up definitely under low pressure by next Tuesday. Here's the icon on a German model. The German model is like this. Again, hot and dry today. Trough through the country tomorrow. Let's look in more detail at the breakdown. 3-hour intervals, UK, precipitation run. So we might even just do a video later on today where we look at these runs just based on the storm potential later on today. So keep an eye out for that. Into tomorrow, we see big storms forming in parts of Connacht, especially. MC as possible. Into the evening, icon again, more inclusive with the storm coverage through all parts of the country. So I think the UKV could be a bit unsupported in its idea of not having the storm so widespread. Into the evening on Tuesday, we see that even on Tuesday into Wednesday, we actually do see a ridge. We see the ridge to the north and the south forming a link together, a ridge to the country. I've been going for a long time now, as you can see, and that comes to nothing really because the lows just went out in the end for a time before it comes back. But overall, I must say that the patterns next week look really, really weak, flimsy, and slack. So it's very uncertain what's going to happen. But generally, if we have a slack pattern, likely to be quite showery, warm but showery, generally pattern. That's a general idea, and light winds. Finally, we have the arpeggio, and something looks wrong with that. I'm not sure it's up to its full, I'm not sure it's up to all its frames. I'm pretty sure that it's meant to go up to 102 hours. Never mind. We'll focus on the breakdown, like, as usual. So let's go into 3-hour intervals and the precip forecast. So yeah. Sunday afternoon, actually, it delays the storms forming in the west, but they do get going, but they're more confined to the west of the west, if you see what I mean, like Galway, Mayo, Sligo, Leitrim, confined to those counties. And again, up comes this band of storms there. Again, quite inclusive with the coverage there after storms through the country. That, by the way, between midnight Monday and 3 AM, that is not the whole system getting intense. That's just the model getting more low res as time goes forward. So everyone, thanks for watching. Later on today, I think we'll do an ECM long-range forecast and a storm watch, where we basically go through the models and focus entirely on the precip chart forecasts. Try and see if they will finally agree or not. I think we'll wait for the UKV to update again for that though. Everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you later on today. Enjoy the heat. Wear some sunscreen. And after sun if you've sunburn. Bye for now.